the president of Kenya, President Ruto.
William Ruto.
Yes. So he informed that he made it clear that the prayer breakfast will be happening on every last Thursday of May in each year. So this is going to be an annual thing.
And previously they didn't have a specific time or date.
Yes, something like that. The opposition party leader, Raila Amolo Odinga, did not attend this meeting. And he quoted saying that this event was dishonoring God and the country with a display of arrogance, superiority battles, and false hope to the citizens. So this is the main reason why he didn't show up to the event. The
main aim of the breakfast prayer was to ask for forgiveness and reconciliation.
The main aim, the theme at that time was about reconciliation, the same theme that we had this year. But right now, according to the president, is that through that prayer breakfast that happened, it led to Kenyans having a peaceful elections.
Okay.
Yes.
It was the first time that two national formations had a national face on either side.
Yes.
Yeah, so can you please expand on that for our listeners?
So this means that from the two, how will I call them, the two parties, that is the Kenya Kwanza and the Azimio, they had different set goals for how they were going to drive Kenya. So this is for the first time, the two parties were not in accordance to the same goals, the same everything, the same type of ruling and how they're going to rule Kenyans. So he also talked about solutions on bettering the cost of living, because the president also touched on how the cost of living has also affected Kenyans and how it is said that it has risen over the past few, let's say, years. So he has given out solutions, and one of them was implementing radical social economic transformation. Another one was lending a hand to neighboring countries experiencing conflict and instability. So here he's talking about helping countries, let's say like Somalia, who are always facing issues with social clashes and all that. So helping them will also help the Kenyans in combating this rising cost of living in a way that we may be getting more, let's say, more support from other exterior countries, maybe let's say through food or through money or other types of assistance that we may need.
In that point, you said implementing a radical.
So one of the solutions was the implementation of a radical socio-economic transformation, and the president actually made a point where he was talking about how the manufacturing dropped from 9% to 7%, stating that this has put in place after it has dropped, he actually goes further on saying that he plans to put in place policy interventions that will promote manufacturing. So promoting this manufacturing will also create more jobs for the people, and creating more jobs, that means that the cost of living is actually going to lower.
Yeah.
Right.
So when you look at the manufacturing industry, it's very diverse and very large. For instance, we could have like manufacturing companies for clothing. And this means if we have these companies in place, this means that trade is going to happen. For instance, in Mombasa, when we put up, say, a manufacturing industry, for instance, textile and clothing, this means that we are producing clothes. And for these clothes to be produced, this means that we need human labor. And for human labor, this means you're going to, employ the youth that you're having, in our streets and in our country, and these youths are unemployed. And if we give them this opportunity, this means that they're going to have a source of income, because now that's going to be their job. They're going to have to report there, do these jobs, maybe manufacture clothes, design them, and in turn they get a source of income. That's their living. And when that happens, that means that you're going to have like circulation of money in that particular area where that manufacturing is happening. And when they say that kama una support mama mboga, this means you're supporting an economy, or whichever business you're supporting, because the money in that area is circulating, and you know, in the long run, we are, you know, contributing to the GDP in the country.
To grow maize in the country. This will also be an advantage to Kenyans because if we grow our own foodstuffs, that
Yes.
means that is less importation,
Less importation, true.
which means it's more money that we're saving,
Yes.
and we're also encouraging more employment opportunities to even our farmers. Farmers are getting more recognition
Yes.
to even farm for more foodstuffs for the people of Kenya.
Yeah, true.
So another point was
Because again, let me add on that. When you
Okay.
look at the importation cost, you know, importation cost is also another story on its own. Apart from, you know, us importing the goods, you know, there is that cost of importing the goods, and there's the importation cost. You know, because these shipping vessels, these are costs that we normally like cater for when we bring goods into the country. So that's like double cost that we are, you know, going to
Yes.
cater for.
Yeah. Another solution was combating existential threats to humanity in the form of conflict, terrorism, poverty, exclusion, and the triple planetary crisis of pollution and loss of diversity and climate change. So this is another solution to combat the cost of living.
And you know, that's a topic, I mean, it's a topic that I think it hasn't been given much importance as it should, because we've been talking about banditry ever since, you know, the former president was, you know, the chair, like, was leading the country. Again, we have a new president, but still we're talking about the same topic, you know, the bandits. And we have security that was deployed there by you know, CS Kindiki Kithure, but we are not seeing a change. And you know, it is something that is very concerning, because you realize that in those areas that we are experiencing the banditry, it is not only about an issue of insecurity, but children there are not going to schools.
Yes.
And then those people who are even working there, some of them are being forced to migrate from Pokot to go back to their homes. You know, someone leaves their job because of insecurity, not because they want to leave their job, but it's because of insecurity. You can't work there. You know, you will, like, anytime there are chances of you being attacked, so you have to leave the place and, you know, go secure yourself somewhere better.
Yeah. 5 million Kenyans are jobless in this country. And he also talked about 7 million living in informal settlements in Kenya.
Yeah.
That is 4,411 informal settlements. That is the slums, the total number of slums in Kenya. And he was actually asking Kenyans to embrace or consider the financial bill that he is bringing forward, claiming that it will help Kenyans. You know, it will clear this number of unemployed youth in the country. It will clear the number of unemployed people, and also take these people living in the slums into better housing.
I beg to differ a bit. I don't understand why we are solving the problem of in settlement with houses, because you do realize these people are not living in say Mukuru wa Njenga because they want to live in Mukuru wa Njenga. And these people, it's not like they can move to another place, say watoke Mukuru wa Njenga to, you know, Eastlands or Westlands. These people don't even have a source of income. These people depend on, you know, hand to mouth on a daily basis. Whatever this person X earns on a particular day, that is the amount of money this person is taking home to my family. You know, leo nimepata hii, this is what I've come with, 100 shillings. I hope it can help. So if we are trying to solve this problem with coming up with houses, honestly, I don't understand. Because it's not that these people can't move to better settlement. They can. The problem here is they lack that money to move from wherever they are to, you know, better places. So the problem here is not about settlement. The problem here is employment income. These people don't have employment
So I think
income.
the employment income will come in after the government has employed or has brought forward the construction of houses. So the construction of housing of the housing fund or the housing whatever, it will employ Kenyans. So this now will bring the people from the slums to go and work for the government, for them to build houses for Kenyans. So building that house, you're earning an income yourself. So as you're earning that income, 3% is also going to be taxed from there. And after a period of let's say they said 7 years is when you'll be able to, you know, get into your house and move there.
You see, when you do even the maths, it's very, very not convincing still for me, because you do realize, for instance, say someone who is 40 or 45 years and you're still living in Mukuru wa Njenga, how sure are you by 7 years you're still going to be alive?
at the loss of someone.
Yeah.
This person was working and he was paying that 3% tax, but unfortunately he did not make it
Yeah.
to see the house.
Yes.
So after this person dies, the family takes over, and next to kin will take over the house.
It feels like we are being forced to get what we don't want. Maybe right now my priority is I don't want a house. I'm okay living at Mukuru and Njenga, but I have 3 kids at school. I have one in university, I have another one in high school, I have another one in primary. Right now my priority is not moving to another better place. My priority right now is my kids who need better education. So you telling me that I'm supposed to deduct this percentage of money going to the housing levy, I don't need a house right now. What I need is I am saving for my children. So it's about priorities, you know. I'm so sad to say this, but it's very annoying that we are being forced to, you know, to take this. Like it's a mandatory. It's not an option. There's no in between. You have to do this, you know.
Yeah.
And yet it's supposed to be something we are doing voluntarily, you know. President Kenyatta's administration, the housing levy was placed as a mandatory, but again, the former President Uhuru Kenyatta was forced to make it voluntary, you know, after, you know, several, you know, debates here and there. He made it a voluntary. But now we have a new president who is coming in with new rules and regulations that need to be passed by even the MPs. And he even says that I want to see these MPs who want to, you know, go against that.
Yes.
Like it's an order. You have to do this.
Some of the MPs and some of the people in parliament have considered it to be like a threat to them, being imposed to them, since they are not even allowed, like the Kenya Kwanza members in the National Assembly, they are not even permitted to go against it. They are forced to comply.
Exactly, because you know now this is you're picking orders from above. This is your boss. Your boss tells you have to. I'm just waiting for you to say no. You don't. You probably might even be evicted from that position.
Yeah.
You're listening to Blue Radio, bringing the vibe.